Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the show where the obvious answers mean nothing and the obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Joe. This is my mate Marek, and we're from Rochdale.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Dara. This is my partner Tony, and we're from London.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Clara. This is my partner David, and we're from Hertfordshire.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Ed. This is my dad, Tim. He lives in Stafford and I live in Manchester.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Lovely to have you here. Warm welcome to Pointless. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. All Mariah Carey wants for Christmas is him. And some oven gloves. It's my Pointless friend. It's Richard.
Afternoon. Hey, everybody. Welcome along. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to be Mariah Carey's Christmas present.
How long you'd have to stay wrapped up under her tree, though.
I suppose so. But, you know, you'd have stories to tell.
Yeah.
Speaking of stories to tell, we have two returning pairs from the last show. Dara and Tony, welcome back. Knocked out in round two. Tim and Ed knocked out in round one. And what a show it was. Julie and Matthew got through to that final round.
Yeah.
Won themselves a £5,000 jackpot, didn't they? It's very impressive, with Miranda Richardson.
Which they nearly didn't guess. They were scrabbling around for that one, weren't they?
Well, listen, we don't want to make this worse for you, but, woo, they were lucky, I would say.
Thank you very much indeed. I would.
Yeah, a little bit.
Still, nice for them. Nice for Julie and Matthew. Yeah, so you gather that. Basically, we're just telling you this. The jackpot today is starting off back at what we're going to pretend is a desirable amount of money.
It is. If you were sitting at home right now and someone just came in and gave you £1,000, you'd be like, whoa. And this, you get given that money and you have the joy of meeting Xander. So it's like a double whammy.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, everyone, let's play Pointless. Your only job is to remember this. It's the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated. You know that, so keep your scores low. Best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category this afternoon is UK Geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many UK cities that begin with the letters N, E, S or W as they could. Richard?
Yeah, looking for the name of any city in the UK. That's any place that holds official city status that begins with one of those letters that points to the compass there, N, E, S or W. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Richard. Marek, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Marek.
So I'm a married father of two from Rochdale.
Oh, don't just say yes there. That's a sentence. I wanted a paragraph, Marek. What do you do, for instance?
OK, so I'm a buying manager for an online retail company. So I travel around the world to countries like China, Turkey, to buy products to sell on the internet.
But why didn't you tell us that? That's thrilling.
Listen, I'm excited about Rochdale, but then I get even more excited when it was China and Turkey.
Yeah, all of that. So what kind of products are you buying?
So it's bathrooms and heating products, basically.
Yeah.
Where is the bathroom and heating products centre of China?
It's in an area called Zhejiang, which is kind of south of Shanghai. That's where they do a lot of it.
And there are a lot of new exciting... Because, you know, in bathrooms, I remember when those heaters with lots of bars like that and a little gap and then lots of bars like that and a little gap and lots of bars like... You remember the ones. I remember when they were new. That was really exciting. What's new now? What's coming out now?
Kind of digital showers that you can turn on with your smartphone and things like that. So you
can
get on it.
Well, you get in the shower with the phone. Marek, what are you going to go for? Any UK city that begins with an N, an E, an S or a W?
I'm going to go for Salisbury.
Salisbury?
Yes.
Good answer. Well, let's find out. Is it a good answer? How many of our 100 people said Salisbury? Down it goes to 19. It is a good answer, Marek. Well done. Good start to the show.
Very nicely played, yeah, on that first podium.
Thank you very much indeed. Richard. Dara, welcome back.
Thank you.
Remind us all about yourself, Dara.
I work in finance, and in our spare time, we're developing our first board game called Quiztomate.
That's right, Quiztomate. Tell us a bit more about Quiztomate. We heard a bit last time.
Yeah.
What's the premise?
The premise is we've chosen questions which are a little bit surprising. Example, how many planes are in the sky on average at any given time?
12.
Around the world. You've played this before. Tell us, just for fun,
Yeah,
how many planes at any one time are there?
9,700.
As few as that?
I was close, though.
Yeah. You were the closest of all the guesses.
Yeah, so I get the point.
9,700.
It's about 1.5 million people in the air at any given time.
1.5 million people.
On 9,000 flights.
They're very big planes.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Right.
No, that's about right, about 200, right?
Yeah,
About
I suppose
200
that's
each
right.
one.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, you got away with it this time.
Okay, a few.
by being right.
Yeah.
1.5 million towelettes. Oh, we should be in the towelette industry.
Yeah, we should be.
Oh, we should go into towelettes. Big time.
I heard you often go into towelettes.
Yeah. Dara,
Yes.
what are you going to go for?
Okay, I'm going to go for Wakefield.
Wakefield. These are all very good answers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Wakefield. Wakefield's absolutely right. 19 is the only score we have so far. Where does Wakefield come? 10 to Salisbury's 19.
Yeah, two very strong answers so far. The Battle of Wakefield is where they say we get the mnemonic Richard of York gave battle in vain.
Thank you very much. Now, Clara, welcome. Tell us all about yourself, Clara.
So I am a professional dog walker and I look after horses as well.
What is the difference between a professional dog walker and an amateur dog walker?
I know what I'm doing.
Ah, nice. The professionals have dog poo bags in many colours.
And the pouch treats.
And the pouch of treats. Yep. How many dogs do you take at a time?
Well, the most I've taken is about 10. That was a one-off, but generally
Whoa.
4 to 6 dogs.
4 to 6 dogs. And when you are taking dogs, do you have them in batches of roughly the same sort of size, or do you just take whichever, come what may, whichever dogs?
Whichever come what may. As long as they all get on, it's fine.
OK, staghounds, chihuahuas, off you go.
Yep.
Come on.
Basically.
So that's fun. How long's the walk you generally take them on?
Half an hour to an hour, depends what the owner wants. Depends what the dog
That's
can
very
do.
nice. That's very nice indeed. And presumably some of the larger dogs. See, we only have two tiny little terriers. Little poo bag, just literally that size. A larger dog, presumably you need like a sort of bag for life.
2 handfuls, yeah.
Has somebody made a device that you can put over your shoulder and hang all the bags on? Just
Generally,
thinking.
there's always a bin somewhere. So.
OK, good. Good. That's all I wanted to establish. Clara, what are you going to go for? Any UK city that begins with an N, an E, an S or a W?
I'm going to go for Worcester.
Worcester. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said Worcester. It's right. Well, 19 is the high score, 10 is the low. 24 for Worcester.
Yeah, birthplace of Worcester sauce. I don't know if that's new information to you, but it was first created in 1835.
Worcester sauce.
Yeah, or Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. Thank you very much. So, now, Tim.
Hello.
Welcome back. Remind us all about yourself.
I'm retired now, so I spend, like all retirees, half my time funding children and now grandchildren and the other time playing golf.
Oh, well, that's good. I think you've got your life balance pretty much sorted there. Any ambitions, anything you're longing to go and do?
I'd love to do some more walking, but whether I'm up to that, I used to love fell walking and coast to coast, something like that would be really good.
See, that's good. And when you do that, do you just have all your stuff in a rucksack, or do you send stuff ahead to
I think I'd like the send stuff ahead bit.
Yeah. Do you sort of plot ahead? I'll stay at this pub that night, that pub the next night. Yeah. Do sort of 15 miles a day. That's a nice thing to
Perhaps
do.
get Ed to join me, who knows?
Oh, yes. Well, maybe if you win the jackpot.
Yes. There you go.
Perfect use for £1,000. That would be nice. OK, now, Tim, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to go for Ely.
Ely, says Tim. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ely. Ely is right. 20 for the high score, and you pass it. 20. Very well done indeed.
Some very solid pointless going on here, isn't it? It's the only city in the UK with 3 letters in its name.
It's nice.
But if you look at Ely Station, the sign is still as long as the sign for a normal station, and it's just a tiny thing in the middle like that.
They should get a local artist to do some stuff.
Fill in the
On either
gaps.
side. Mind the gap, as they like to say.
Oh, that'd be nice.
absolutely.
Yeah, I want to take a photo of it, because it really is disconcerting. There's a
They
real
could have
waste
just
of-
had a tiny sign. All that metal could have gone on something more.
I know. I guess the signs must be of standard usage,
That
whether
must
you're,
be it.
you know, Romney Hythe and Dymchurch, or Ely.
I guess that's right.
Yeah.
I guess that's right. Thank you very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 10, very well done indeed, Dara, the best score of the pass. Then we travel up from there to 19, where we find Marek and Joe, then up to 20, where we find Tim and Ed, and then up from there to 24, where we find Clara and David. So, David, a little bit ahead. Let's have a nice low score from you in the next pass and see if that's enough to keep you in the game. Good luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, now, Ed, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself.
I work in railway recruitment, and I'm also the voice of the help desk.
You are the voice of the help desk.
Yes, I'm the press option 1 now person.
Nationally.
Yeah, it's for the internal kind of system, but for about 40,000
So
people.
if we just want to hear your voice, Ed, who do we ring?
Well, it's Network Rail.
Network Rail.
Yeah, so I have done a bit for Euston Station.
OK, so we want to hear Ed. Who are you going to call? Euston Station. That's fantastic.
What number do we have to press?
I'm not sure I know the number off the top of my head.
No, no. Listen, let me finish, because I have a complaint. What number do we have to press if we think that the signage on a station is too big for the name of that station?
I think that might be option 5 for any other queries.
Option 5, there we go, there we go.
Or hold to speak to an operator.
Yes.
There we are. Now, Ed, there you are on 20. We're looking for any UK city that begins with one of these letters, N, E, W or S. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to give a risky one.
Good, good.
I'm going to say Newport.
Newport. Begins with an N. Here is your red line. I mean, at this stage of the game, when you're on the far podium, the red line's sort of meaningless, really. But there you are, just for reference. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Newport. It's right. Maybe not so meaningless. Down it goes to 13. Very well done indeed. 33 is your total. We now have a benchmark.
Yeah, Newport is home to the Newport clock, which is has the name the scariest clock in the world. Wow.
Why?
Because it has a devil that comes in and
Comes
out
out
of
of
it.
the thing.
Yeah.
Every hour.
That's scary, isn't it?
It is.
The scariest clock in the world is the clock in your O-level exam hall, isn't it? Or GCSE,
Yeah, that's a scary clock.
isn't it? Anyway, Newport, there you go. It's a very good answer. Well played. Nice to see a risk being taken there.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, David, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm 30 years old. I live in Hertfordshire with Clara, and I'm a professional poker player.
Now, there's fun.
Oh.
Now, there's fun. As the professional poker player, how often do you play in tournaments?
A few nights a week, tournaments. It sounds more glamorous than it is, to be honest. You think like James Bond, Casino Royale. It's not really like that.
No, I know a few professional poker players. I'm under no illusions. It's hard work, you know. You travel, but do you do some of the big tournaments? Do you head off to Vegas most years?
I've never been
or-
to Vegas, but around Europe, yes, and UK.
All right, OK. David, you're on 24. We need a score of 8 or less from you at this stage.
I have 2 risky ones. Let's go Exeter.
Exeter, says David. Here is your red line. Get below that with Exeter, you're through to the next round. Let's see what happens. $41 for Exeter. Takes your total up to 65.
Yeah, it has a great rivalry with the city next door, Romania.
There was a clear seconds pause there while everyone went... Thank you very much indeed. Now, welcome back, Tony. Good to have you with us once again, Tony.
Thank
Tell
you.
us all about yourself once more.
Yeah, I'm from London. I work in finance. I'm originally from Paris. Oh, a small town next to Disneyland, actually, 10 minutes away from Disneyland.
Yeah, we know what Paris is. Yeah.
No, but this is the
No,
suburbs.
I
It's
know,
not
I
Paris.
know. I was joking. And yes, last time you gave us some lovely French. You put us right on some French things, which is great. What are your interests, Tony?
We like to play music. I play piano, guitar, bass, and drums. And Dara plays the piano and the guitar as well, and also the flute and saxophone. So we like to play duets together, basically.
And you record? Or
Not
do you,
really.
No, you just play
for-
together. Well,
yeah.
that's very nice. Do you ever go out and perform?
No, never. But it's a
Might
family,
you?
maybe.
I see, but lovely though. The hours while away as you play and sing together or play. That's really nice. There you are on 10. Fabulous low score from you so far. If you can score 54 or less, you're into round 2.
I'm gonna go for Norwich.
You'll go for Norwich. OK, here is your red line. Can you get below that with Norwich? Let's find out. Ooh, 56 for Norwich. Takes your total up to 66.
That's unlucky. Yeah, happiest place to live in the UK, they say.
That's nice.
Norwich, in terms of people's job satisfaction.
Thank you. Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us all about yourself, Joe.
I'm from Rochdale with Marek, and I work for a medical company that sells to the pre-hospital industry, so ambulance services, the military, air ambulances and things like that.
I've literally never heard of the pre-hospital industry.
The pre-hospital
That's great.
industry, yeah.
Pre-hospital products.
Things like tourniquets and bandages, chest seals, things like that.
Towelettes? You need towelettes?
That's a
Never
good
too
idea.
soon to start
Because
scouting.
we have a...
we have a concern.
We
shall
have a
call it?
line, certainly.
We have decided to branch out into orangey towelettes instead of lemony towelettes.
Yeah, if you're looking for something zesty, we should probably talk.
Yeah, that's what we can do, definitely.
There we are. Thank you. OK, Joe, you're on 19. 46 or less keeps you in the game.
Yeah, I'm hoping people forget about the north, really, so I'm going to go for Salford.
Salford, says Joe. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Salford. There's your red line. Salford is right. And it gets you through. Very well done indeed, Joe. Oh, with room to spare, down to 9, which happens to be the lowest score of the whole round so far. So very well done indeed. 28's your total.
That's a terrific end to the round. Very well played. You know what? Great round from everyone. They're really unlucky to be knocked out with a score of 66 on this round. Now, Salford is the best answer on the board. There's no pointless answer, so I'll take you through everything that underneath Salford, essentially. So Salford would have scored you 9. Stirling would have scored you 8. You would have got 5 points for Wells. You'd have got 4 points for Newry in Northern Ireland. You'd have got 2 points for St David's and for St Albans. And 1 point, the best answer you possibly could have given, St Asaph. It's a 1 point answer. Very well done if you said that. I'll tell you the top 3 scorers now. Let's take a look. In fact, Norwich was the 3rd top scorer. 56 points for that, just above Edinburgh. The second was Southampton, 60. And the top there was Newcastle upon Tyne. That would have scored you 73 points.
As it rightly should be. Newcastle right at the top.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if the people of Southampton, or indeed Sunderland, would agree with that.
Well, that's just hard cheese.
Sunderland scored 23.
Oh, dear.
Newcastle 73, Sunderland 23.
There we are.
Sorry,
well.
Sunderland.
Sorry, Sunderland. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So we find ourselves at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, Tony and Dara. I'm so sorry. Wakefield, what a great answer that was. There you were, basking in the praise of being the lowest scorers halfway through the round. Then Tony, I'm afraid Norwich didn't help you out there. But as Richard said, it was a very low-scoring round. It's been lovely having you on both shows. Thank you so much for playing, Tony and Dara.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. There we are into round 2 now. Only 3 pairs remaining. Joe, hats off to you. Lowest score of the round. Very well done, Joe and Marek. Lowest combined scores, in fact. So all looking very strong on that near podium. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 today is famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns people born in 1949. Richard.
Yep, 16 faces on the board. They were all born in 1949, but who are they, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our famous people born in 1949. Here is the image. 16 faces. There we are. All born in 1949. Who are they? Marek, we come to you first. Who'd you like to go for?
So, I'm hoping that one of them is Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges, says Marek. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Jeff Bridges. It is right. Not bad. 24 for Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, there he is, Jeff Bridges, the guy who I was thinking, well, I know that's Kurt Russell.
It's an astonishing beard he's got there.
Yeah, he's great. And obviously he doesn't really look that much like Kurt Russell. That was just brain freeze on my behalf.
Yeah, it happens though. Even you get brain freeze. you see.
Yeah.
There we are. Now, David.
I'm pretty bad with faces. Let's go for Richard Gere.
Okay, Richard Gere, says David. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Richard Gere. It's right. 65 for Richard Gere.
Yeah, there's a scene in Pretty Woman where he plays piano, and it's his own composition. Plays it himself, and it's his own music, no overdubbing.
That's nice.
It's smart, though, because presumably he gets a bit of money. Presumably it's on the
Every-
soundtrack and
Of course.
all that malarkey.
That's true.
Yeah, I might bring a keyboard on.
Clever man. Oh, you should.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
You should. Yes.
You'd like that?
Yeah, I would like that. I certainly would. Now, Ed.
Hi.
So all these people were born in 1949. Who are they?
Gonna risk it again.
Good.
Zoe Wanamaker.
Zoe Wanamaker, says Ed. Let's see how many of our 100 people spotted Zoe Wanamaker up there. It's right. 65 is our high score, which you passed some time ago. 30 is where you end up with Zoe Wanamaker.
Very well played. You know, super famous on TV for being in My Family, but one of the great theatre actors of her generation.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. We are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 24, the best score of the past, Marek. Marek and Joe asserting themselves once again on this round. 30 is where we find Ed and Tim. 65, David and Clara, once again our high scorers. So good luck with that, Clara. I hope you've got a nice low-scoring answer for us in the next pass. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So, Tim, who are all these children of 1949? What are you going to go for?
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu, or Benjamin Netanyahu. There is your red line. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Benjamin Netanyahu. It's right. You are through to the head-to-head, and that goes down to 12. Very well played indeed. Takes your total up to 42.
Now, I thought that was Alistair Stewart.
Oh, really? Well, the
Yeah.
newscaster?
Yeah.
Ah, there we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, Clara.
So I only know a few people on that board. I'm going to go with Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver, says Clara. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sigourney Weaver. No red line for you. You're currently the high scorers. Sigourney Weaver is right. Down that goes to 47, taking your total up to 112.
Now, she changed her name from Susan to Sigourney, which is a minor character in The Great Gatsby. She said she felt too tall to have a name like Susan.
That's good.
It's a good name.
It's a great
You remember her, right?
You certainly do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, now, Joe. 24 is your score at the moment. 87 or less gets you into the next round. Do you fancy talking us through the board?
I think I know a few. Lionel Richie's up there, Meryl Streep. I don't know if that's Dolly, bottom left. I think that's Sugar Ray Leonard, but I'm not 100% sure. I think I am going to risk it, actually, with one on the right-hand side, which is Billy Joel.
Billy Joel. Billy Joel. Here is your red line. Can you get below that red line with Billy Joel? Let's find out. It is Billy Joel, and you are through. 17, very well done. 41, once again, the lowest scorers of the round.
Yeah, Billy Joel, very well done, 17 points. It's very apt he's on the board. Not only was he born in 1949, one of his most famous songs, We Didn't Start the Fire, every event in that is from 1949 to 1989. The first 40 years of his life, every event is from that era.
It's clever.
It's clever, isn't it?
Oh, that's clever.
Shall we go through the rest of this board?
Yes.
It is not Sugar Ray Leonard. It is...
George Foreman.
George Foreman, yeah. He would have scored you 22 points next to him.
Twiggy.
Twiggy. She would have scored 33. Another great actor, top right.
Sissy Spacek.
Sissy Spacek. 11 points for Sissy Spacek. Now, second row down, you'll know the name. Very big in fashion. Vera Wang.
Vera Wang, okay.
So you would have scored 2. One of our finest authors in the
Martin
next row,
Amis.
Martin Amis, very low scorer, would have scored you 1. You're quite right about Meryl Streep. She would have scored you 50 points. Next along, Elizabeth Warren. She would have scored you 1. Ivana Trump.
Ivana Trump.
Would score you 13. You're right about Lionel Richie. He would have scored you 59. And the last one, I mean, goodness, well done if you got this. Portuguese leader, current UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. Pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So we find ourselves at the end of the second round. Clara and David, I'm afraid this is where we say goodbye to you, but you played incredibly well up to this point. We'll see you again next time. Thank you so much, Clara and David. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Joe and Marek, Tim and Ed. You're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. But we've reached the head-to-head. You can start playing as a pair. First pair to win 2 questions in this round will be playing for that jackpot. Well,
nice for Tim and Ed to get through after your first round defeat last time. Often happens, though.
Absolutely. Oh, we had some good answers there. Benjamin Netanyahu, very strong indeed. And Joe and Marek, first time on the show, straight through to the head-to-head as our golden couple. I think this might be close.
That'll be a good one.
Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns marine transport in pop songs.
I always get asked for this, so finally we're doing it. 5 UK top 10 singles we're going to show you on the board. We've missed out a word from each title, and that word is some type of watercraft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Looking forward to this. OK, let's find out what those 5 songs are. Here they come. We have got Blank John B, The Beach Boys, 1966. The Banana Blank Song, Harry Belafonte, 1957. The Blank, Echo and the Bunnymen, 1983. Blank Cross the Mersey, Jerry and the Pacemakers, 1965. And Blank of Fools, Erasure, 1988. I'm going to read those all again. Blank John B, The Beach Boys, 1966. The Banana Blank Song, Harry Belafonte, 1957. The Blank, Echo and the Bunnymen, 1983. Blank Cross the Mersey, Jerry and the Pacemakers, 1965. And Blank of Fools, Erasure, 1988. Joe and Marek, as the low scorers, you get to go first. Feel free to confer. Do you know that?
We'll have to go with the only one we know, which is Ferry Across the Mersey.
OK, Ferry, Cross the Mersey. So Joe and Marek. Now then, Tim and Ed, talk us through the rest of that board.
Top one we think is Sloop John B, the Banana Boat song. Yeah. And then, don't know. So...
The Submarine and Canoe of Fools.
So we go for Sloop?
Yeah,
we'll go for Sloop.
Sloop John B. So we have Ferry, Cross the Mersey, and Sloop John B. Joe and Marek had Ferry, Cross the Mersey. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that for Jerry and the Pacemakers. It is indeed Ferry. 71 people knew that. Tim and Ed, meanwhile, have gone for Sloop John B for the Beach Boys. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. Sloop's right. And it wins you the point. Well done. Down that goes to 23. Well done. Tim and Ed, after one question, you are up 1-0.
Nicely played. A beautiful song as well, their version of Sloop John B. It is the Banana Boat song that would have scored you more points. Would have scored you 47. Down the bottom now, the Erasure song. Ship of Fools. That would have scored 32. And people of a certain vintage, myself and yourself included, will know the Bunnymen song.
The Cutter.
The Cutter. And that would have scored you 7 points. Best answer on the board. Well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed. Here comes your second question. Now then, Joe and Marek, you have to win this one to stay in the game. But Tim and Ed get first dibs on this. Best of luck. Our second question today is all about dinosaurs in the Jurassic Park film franchise. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 pictures now of dinosaurs who appeared in that franchise. We're going to give you the first letters of their names as well. But what are these dinosaurs called?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 dinosaurs. And here they come. We have got A, S, B, T, R, C, G, D, V, and E, T. There we are, 5 dinosaurs there. Tim and Ed, you get to go first.
Funnily enough, I'm going to go for E.T., another Spielberg film. Triceratops.
Triceratops. Triceratops, say Tim and Ed. Now, Joe and Marek. Do you want to talk us through the rest of those dinosaurs?
I think I know all of them because my son is a massive, massive fan of the Jurassic Park films. So I think A is Stegosaurus, B is Tyrannosaurus Rex, C is Gallimimus, and D is Velociraptor. So if you're happy, we'll go with C for Gallimimus.
Gallimimus. OK, Gallimimus, say Joe and Marek for C. So, Tim and Ed have gone for Triceratops for E. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Triceratops. It's right. Down it goes to 56. Joe and Marek, meanwhile, have gone for Gallimimus for C. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Gallimimus. Gallimimus is right. And it wins you the point. Very well done indeed. Back in the game. Oh, look at that. Down it goes to 3. That's a brilliant answer, Joe and Marek. But crucially, brings you back on level pegging, and after 2 questions, it's 1-1.
Yeah, terrific work. What's your son called, Marek?
Jacob.
Jacob. Well, that's the best answer on the board, Jacob, so very nicely done. See, it's worth having kids sometimes, isn't it?
Sometimes.
You are right, or rather, Jacob's right about all the others as well. Stegosaurus would have scored you 42. Tyrannosaurus Rex, it only scores 58. D is Velociraptor. And look at this for a score, 57. And we didn't know Velociraptors at all until Jurassic Park, really. Now they're amongst the most famous of the dinosaurs. How about that?
How about it?
They've got good PR, haven't they, all of a sudden?
Done very well. Well done. Thank you very much indeed. OK, now here comes the decider. Whoever wins this third question goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question today is all about geographical cues. Richard.
5 clues to facts of a geographical nature, but the answers all begin with the letter Q.
Thanks very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 Q clues, and here they are. We have got Australian state that's home to Brisbane, Cairns and the Gold Coast, capital of Ecuador, northernmost and highest of the 7 hills of Rome, on which the Italian president's official residence stands, range of hills in Somerset, England's first area of outstanding natural beauty, and the largest of Canada's 10 provinces by land area. I will read those again. Australian state that's home to Brisbane, Cairns and the Gold Coast, capital of Ecuador, northernmost and highest of the 7 hills of Rome, on which the Italian president's official residence stands, range of hills in Somerset, England's first area of outstanding natural beauty, and the largest of Canada's 10 provinces by land area. There we are. Now, Joe and Marek will go first.
I think we know a few, but we're going to go for the capital of Ecuador, which is Quito.
Quito, say Joe and Marek. Now, Tim and Ed, it's over to you. Can you talk us through that board?
Queensland at the top. Don't know the 7 hills, I'm afraid. I should do. I believe Quantox and Quebec is the last one. Should we go for Quantox?
Yeah, I didn't know that one, but yeah.
I'll pronounce it carefully. Quantox.
OK, Quantox. So we have Quito and we have Quantox. Joe and Marek went for Quito, the capital of Ecuador. Let's see how many of our 100 said that. It's right, and it goes down to 30. Tim and Ed, meanwhile, have gone for Quantox, the Somerset Hills. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Quantox. Quantox is right. So is it going to be close? Oh, 32 for Quantox. 2 great answers there. Quito narrowly winning out there. So very well done, Joe and Marek. After 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
Oh, we said that was going to be a close one. Very well played, everybody. Terrific head-to-head. Now, there is an answer up there that, of course, would have won it, and it's the one that none of us know. Queensland would have scored you 63. Quebec would have scored you 61. Do you know this last one?
I can't think of what it is. No, I don't think I do.
It is Quirinal. Would have scored you 5 points. Very well done if you said that at home. Best answer on the board by a mile.
Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Tim and Ed, I'm afraid it's you. This is where we say goodbye to you. It's been great having you on both shows. Great performance, though, across this second show of your pointless career. Thanks so much for playing, Tim and Ed. But for Joe and Marek, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Joe and Marek. You fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,000. But I would say you haven't really put a foot wrong. Nice little bit of jeopardy you introduced to the head-to-head round there, letting the other guys go 1-0 up there. Then back you came, and you stormed through 2-1. What do you want to see come up in this last round?
Football, probably. TV and film, maybe. Marek's great on geography, but we've had a couple of geography rounds, so maybe not. Yeah, dinosaurs.
OK, well, let's see what's on the board today. 4 options for you to go for. Today's list looks like this. We've got the year 1964, Elton John, batsman versus England in Test cricket, and 21st century Shakespeare.
I know absolutely nothing about any of them, but I think Joe's got a pretty good grasp on cricket. So if you're happy.
Yeah, cricket.
OK, you're going to go for batsman versus England?
Yeah, not a bad question, this one. We're looking for any of the following, please. We're looking for any Australian batsman who has scored more than 1,000 Test runs against England. We're looking for any West Indies batsman who's done that, or any South African batsman. So anyone from those 3 countries who scored more than 1,000 Test runs against England up to the end of April 2019, please. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. As always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win the jackpot is for just 1 answer to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
So I've got nothing. So you just take it away.
Justin Langer, Matthew Hayden, I think would be the 2 from that sort of era. I'm thinking maybe Simon Katic might have got 1,000 Test runs. He may not have done though. South Africans, maybe Jax Callis. I don't know whether he'd be too popular.
I've never heard of any of them, so
let me just have a bit of a think. South Africans. Oh, Graham Smith. Yeah, I think we'll go Graham Smith, actually.
Are these all kind of 90s and noughties and movies?
Yeah, they are sort of. Well, it's like late 90s, early 2000s. We've got Graham Smith, Justin Langer, Matthew Hayden, I think.
I've heard of Graham Smith, but I've not heard a couple of ones. But it's who do you think they get 1,000? Because obviously they've got them.
It's best I can come up with really off that.
OK.
Yeah. Are you happy?
Yeah.
OK, we're going to stop the clock. Look at that. Brilliant. 9 seconds to spare. You've got 3 good answers there. Let's hear what they are. And if you could say which category you're answering.
So the 2 Australians, we're going to go for Justin Langer.
Justin Langer.
And Matthew Hayden.
Matthew Hayden.
And then the South African, he was captain, he's quite popular, but it's a bit of a generic name, so Graham Smith.
Graham Smith. OK, of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
Justin Langer.
Justin Langer we put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Graham Smith.
Graham Smith, then Matthew Hayden goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We've got Graham Smith, Matthew Hayden, and Justin Langer. Well, 3 great answers there. Let's hope one of those turns out to be pointless and wins that jackpot for you. £1,000, not a bad jackpot. I mean, imagine if someone walked into your sitting room at home and gave you £1,000 while you were watching. That wouldn't be bad. What would you like to spend it on?
I'll probably just put it towards a holiday, probably for Jacob, because he's won us the previous round.
Very good. Joe, what about you?
I get married next year to Kira, so it's going to probably put to some of her dress, probably. It's going to be expensive enough, isn't it?
Very nice indeed. Well, 2 lovely reasons for winning and 2 lovely things to spend your cash on if you win. Your first answer was Graham Smith. In this case, we were looking for any South African batsman who's scored over 1,000 runs against England. If Graham Smith is pointless, you leave here with £1,000. How many people said Graham Smith? Well, he's right. We just need Graham Smith to score uncharacteristically low in this instance, and down he goes to 6. OK, a good answer, not a pointless answer. You've now got Matthew Hayden waiting in the wings. We've now moved to Australian batsmen who've made 1,000 runs against England. Let's find out how many people said Matthew Hayden. If he's pointless, wins you £1,000. It's right. Graham Smith took us all the way down to 6. Matthew Hayden now takes us down into single figures, still going down, passing 6, still getting 2. This is very exciting indeed. We're in the right sort of territory here. Again, not a pointless answer. But we now go down to Justin Langer, Hayden's fellow opening batsman. Let's see how much he scores. If Justin Langer is pointless, you leave here with that jackpot of £1,000. How many of our 100 people said it? It's right, Graham Smith took us all the way down to 6. Matthew Hayden took us all the way down to 2. Justin Langer now takes us down into single figures, still going down with Justin Langer. Oh! Listen, 3 brilliant answers there. Oh, that's harsh. Scoring only 1 with Justin Langer. That's a brilliant answer, but I'm afraid you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £1,000, but you do get to take home a pointless trophy each. So very well done indeed.
It's a terrific performance and really good performance in that last round as well. Very, very unlucky. Now I'm going to go through the pointless answers in the different categories, see if you got one at home. There'll be names that you recognise, but in that minute, I think you did pretty well to come up with the names you came up with. We'll start with Australia. Very big name at the top. David Boone was a pointless answer. Amazingly, Mark Taylor, also a pointless answer. Michael Hussey, Rob Marsh, the old wicket-keeper. Bill Ponsford, Brad Haddin, Dean Jones, a pointless answer. Graham Wood, Ian Healy, Kim Hughes. Michael Slater was a pointless answer. Neil Harvey as well. So lots of pointless answers there. Bradman was a high scorer. West Indies batsman now. From the 60s, Basil Butcher, Carl Hooper was a pointless answer. Sir Everton Weekes is a pointless answer. Brilliant Richie Richardson as well. Clyde Walcott, George Headley, Seymour Nurse, Frank Worrell, all of those are pointless answers as well. Lara and Viv Richards, the biggest scorers there. And South Africa now. From way back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, Bruce Mitchell was a pointless answer. Gary Kirsten, a pointless answer. Herbie Taylor, another from way back when. Mark Boucher, the wicketkeeper, was a pointless answer. The biggest scorers there, Graham Smith was actually the biggest scorer of all for South Africa. A.B. de Villiers, Hashan Amla as well, Jack Callis, Darryl Cunnalan and Herschel Gibbs. Everyone else is a pointless answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thanks once again, Joe and Marek. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That'll therefore roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £2,000. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.